What's going on, guys? So I've been doing well, I did one video so far, but I'm gonna do probably 3 videos total. It dawned on me yesterday that I think I mentioned it in the previous video that the CO2s I'm using, the second and third cartridge, since this was cool inside, I did allow for it, 8 minutes or so, 7 minutes for it to warm up a little bit. It's not cool out here. It's about the same as it was in the first video. This will probably go up a little bit more. This has only been out here for about 3 minutes now. Same with all this stuff. It dawned on me that this isn't internally, it's cool or cold because I shot one CO2 through it, and then the second and third cartridges, they were not a huge difference lower, but they were on the first magazine, they were about 2 joules lower average, and then on the 10 shot average it was like 1.5 joules lower, and then the 11 shot average was also about 1.5 joules lower with the second and third cartridge. But I'm gonna run this test anyways. Yesterday I used the daisies first, so now I'm gonna use Umarex first, and then Crosman, and then daisy last. And then on the final video, I'll use Crosman first, and then daisy second, and then Umarex last, and I'll have data for all 3 cartridges. Like I said earlier, it's still pretty hot out here. This was inside the house. It's like 85 or something. It's pretty hot. The table's hot. 29 Celsius. All these are registering higher than they actually feel because of the table, I'm pretty sure. And see, this table's like 90 degrees. So this might be a little bit higher than the first video as far as speeds and stuff because it feels hotter out here. It's not windy anymore, so I'm happy for that. Anyways, I'm using Grimbug Jewel V3s. I'm going to use the same 11 rounds through this, so I'm not going to be digging into that. There's 1 in the breech, 5 in each mag. I'll do 5 shots, let it rest for like 25 seconds, then shoot it again. And I'm going to be using the Umarex cartridge first, so I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, I got the Umarex cartridge in here. I'll probably put oil after this video. I'll hook this up on a HPA tank, shoot some oil down this, and then just shoot some rounds out of it with the HPA tank. I won't film that, it's just to get oil through it again. So this will be 6 cartridges, and then I oil it. So anyways, here it is, pressurized. This is the Umarex cartridge. I'll shoot 5 rounds and then give it like a 30-second break. 252. 238. 228. 218. 210. So I'm gonna let this chill. That was 5 shots. I'm gonna let this chill for about 20 more seconds. So I'll be back at like 5:55 and 40 seconds. Alright, you guys, 5:55 and 53 seconds. I was doing stuff on the table and forgot to come back over here. So I'll do a 40-second gap for the next cartridges. So this is shot 6 through 11. 232. 218. 216. These are 7.7 gram Joule V3s. 206. I think I forgot to mention it. I just mentioned the brand name. 194, and I think this is the final shot. 172. That looks pretty similar to yesterday's numbers. Out of ammo. So that was 12 shots. 13, 14, 15, 16. Pretty much like 3 magazines. So I'm gonna let this I'm gonna take the CO2 out of it, and then I'll be back in about 7 minutes. Alright guys, back with the S2. I'm gonna check the temperature. It looked a little bit lower than in the previous video. I think it was still hitting like 82 degrees Fahrenheit or 83 degrees Fahrenheit after I shot it. But right now the handle is saying about 80. which is about 27 Celsius. The table itself is still pretty warm. And these CO2s that I'm going to shoot next are registering higher, but I know that these can't read that metallic surface very well. So next is the Crosman. This was the Umarex that I shot. Looks like a clean pierce. It's 604. I'm going to get this going. I got 5 in here and then 5 in here, and then I think there's one in the breech right now. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, still 604. It's almost 605, but I wanted to show you the Crosman cartridge right there. Crosman going in, securing it down. So these are the Grimbug jewels, same exact balls that I shot earlier. Here's the first shot. 240. I heard a tiny little leak. I still hear a little tiny leak. 240. 232. 224. 220. I think it's my pierce cap, so I might have to look at that. So because the pierce cap sounds like it has a tiny little leak, I'm just going to shoot the rest of these without a 20-second cooldown or whatever. 218. 206. 200. 192. This is pretty much the same as yesterday. 184. And I think that was it, but I'll check. 170. So that was the 11th shot. I think that was it. Yeah, nothing. So that was 12 shots. 17 total. That's it for the Crosman. I'm not going to add oil to this yet, just to see. Sounded like it was a tiny little leak in here, but it was really, really faint. But here's the Crosman cartridge. Here's the pierce. Looks normal to me. I'll be back in about 7 minutes. I made a timer. So there's the timer. So I'll be back. Alright guys, I have not added anything to this. I'll troubleshoot the leak before the third video, see if I can get it to work. It's really, really small. I don't think it's a huge concern, but I'm going to use the Daisy cartridge next. I still got about a minute before my timer goes off. The Daisy cartridge is still reading pretty warm, 86, 87. It's a little bit cooler out here. This has gone down a little bit since the beginning of the video. The salt supply is saying 85. The handle is saying 77, so it is getting colder, because before it was about 85, and then it was about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and now it's about 78 degrees. So it's getting a little bit cooler, but that's expected to happen because I'm using CO2 cartridges. So this is the Daisy cartridge. I'll be using that one, and got the same jewel rounds I was using. This is the same 11 rounds. I haven't pulled anything out of that container yet, so I'll be right back. Alright you guys, timer's gone off at 6:14. I got the Daisy cartridge right here. See if it focuses. It says Daisy right there. There you go. Daisy in there. I'm gonna puncture this thing, see if I get that tiny little faint leak. I'll just start shooting it if it does, and I'll skip the 20-second cooldown thing on the 5th shot. So this time I don't hear anything. I'm holding the pierce cap like right next to the microphone. I hear nothing. So first shot, 248. 236. 224. 220. 210. that was 5 shots. I'm going to, since it's not having any apparent leaking noise, air leak thing, I'm gonna let it chill for about 30 seconds. So I'll be back at about 6:15 and 40 seconds. All right, guys, I meant 6:15 and 50 seconds. So it's been 30 seconds. No leaking, no nothing. That was a random fluke, I guess, hopefully. So Daisy cartridge, final shots. 224, 210, 206, 196, 190, 168. Out of shots. So that was 12, 13, 14, kind of like 18 or 19, but if those were shooting rounds, it would have been super weak, probably like 5 joules or something. Those last like 3 shots. So I'm gonna put some spray in the handle, get some oil circulating in this, because I haven't put any oil in it for 6 cartridges now. And it's going to be super weak because on my HPA tank, the salt supply, because it has restrictors and stuff in it, doesn't perform that well. So these are the Pierces for all of them. I wasn't like pussy handing them, I was hitting them pretty good. So that's the Daisy and the Umarex and the Crosman. So Umarex is first, Crosman's in the middle. That's the one where I had that little leak noise, but I think it was just a fluke. I always use Crosman's in mine, and that was the first time I heard a leak in a long time. And yeah, that's all 3 Pierces. So I'm gonna spray some spray in here. I'll probably film it, but it'll be quick. I have a variety of sprays, but I use this one kind of a lot, not too much. So that's all I'm gonna put in there. And I'm gonna hook up an air tank, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm on a 900 psi output tank. Has about 1,000 psi in the tank, but this is going to be just to cycle the oil through. This is not really going to be impressive at all. 166, 164, 164, 162. Got my next magazine right here. And here's 5 more shots. And I think I got 1 more in my pocket. Alright, last shot. Chronograph 142. So my HPA tank's probably running lower than 900 psi. And 4 more shots, and I think that'll be it. So I'll go inside the house. I just did my slide check thing. That's what that hissing noise was. Got all the pressure out of this. I'll do the paper thing, show you guys the averages and all that, and then I'll do this one more time, and I'll have 3 sets of data on 3 different days with different temperatures, and every single cartridge will have a turn to go first. So I'll try to keep it pretty even. I haven't really seen much of a difference, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'll go in the house and I'll be back. What's going on, guys? So just finished shooting the salt supply with 3 brands of CO2, and there's the Umarex in the first column, and I shot this one first. In this video is the Crosman column. This one had a small leak, and I noted that. And there's the Daisy column, and pretty much everything was normal. It's kind of surprising the Crosman had a higher 5-shot average. This turnaround today was about 82 degrees Fahrenheit. 27.7 Celsius. So I was using Grimbug Joule V3s. There's about a 7-minute kind of like a cool down or warm up period between each CO2 pierce. And here's the 5-shot averages. So this is the Umarex column, this is the Crosman column, and this is the Daisy column. So the 5-shot average is right here, and the Crosman had the highest 5-shot average today. There was a small leak with that, and I believe it probably affected this because this one was leaking. It had a faint leak. I didn't wait at all when switching the magazine. I just shot continuously. The 10-shot average, the Umarex cartridge won that, and the 11-shot average, which was basically the weakest shot out of all of them, I just wanted to factor it in. The Umarex cartridge won that, so Umarex got first in the 10 and 11-shot average, and today the Crosman got first on the 5-shot average. Yeah, it's kind of like, I'll have this data. You guys can see this paper. That's all the feet per second numbers, and this is all the joule values. So I just added the first 5, got a number which is like 90 something, divided it by 5, and then I got this number. I did that for all these. So added these 5, got like 92 or something like that, divided it by 5, got 18.86. That's the 5-shot joule average. So there's not much of a difference. It's like half of a joule. And day one, there was a big difference between the Daisy and the Umarex and the Crosman on the first 5 shots, but the second magazine, the 10th shot average was almost the same. It's like a 1.5 joule difference between the Crosman cartridge and the Daisy cartridge, and the 11-shot average was like 1.2 joule difference. It's almost negligible. There's a tiny difference. I'm not sure if anyone's going to be able to feel that if they're getting hit by it. Most times if you're using these things, you'll probably just shoot 5 shots, 1 magazine, specifically for the salt supply. If I was using my Saber or like the Tippmann or something, Tipex, or like the Berna TCR, all these numbers would be different, but I'm just using this launcher. It's the same launcher I've been using these 3 cartridge brands, and showing you the data, recording temperatures and stuff. So I don't have like a controlled environment really. So if I do my third test, it might not be this warm. It might be like 75 degrees Fahrenheit, because I had really hot days the past couple days, and that's why I wanted to do this. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do the third video when it's hot outside. It might be like 75 degrees, which is still pretty good for CO2. So maybe I'll wait a little bit longer in between each cartridge. Like instead of waiting 7 minutes, maybe I'll do 10 minutes, but I don't really want to skew the data too much. So I'm probably just going to keep doing 7-minute cooldowns. And I'll have these videos recorded days ahead of time before they get edited, and kind of like before anybody can weigh in on what I end up doing. So they'll probably just be 7-minute like warm-up periods in between each CO2. So the next video, I'll shoot Crosman first, because I'm just working my way down the line. So Daisy was first, Umarex was second, Crosman was third. I put Daisy to the back, so now Umarex was first, Crosman was second, Daisy was third. And I'm going to put Umarex to the back of the line, and Crosman will be first, Daisy will be second, and then Umarex will be last, so that each cartridge gets a turn as the first one to go. When the launcher is warm and stuff, there's no discrepancies on the internal temperatures of parts and everything. So that's it for this one. I'll let you guys look at that data set real quick if you want to look at it. So there's everything, and here is the averages. So you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time.